Hi everyone, it's Anne Stokes here, and today I'd like to tell you about this new image that I've just recently put together around the subject of the Wheel of the Year. Perhaps particularly appropriate as we are just drawing very near to Yule, which is the winter solstice here in the Northern Hemisphere, and the shortest day of the year. Now I will start with the image in the centre, which is something I painted a number of years ago. Now this is a dragon clutching the pagan wheel of the year. Now this symbolises the seasons as they turn. It starts at the top with Yule, goes round to spring, at the bottom with summer, autumn, and this is something that is in mythology. Our ancestors venerated this changes in these seasons, which of course were very important to them and their crops. And this legend has been perpetuated for thousands of years. And also in play in this is the oak and holly king, which are shown here in my design in the top circles. And these two kings battle for supremacy with the holly king at its full power at this time of year when it's very cold and the light is at its shortest. And then the oak king wins, and ever so slightly the light and life returns to the world until the summer solstice. Now, in the background, I have a depiction of a huge tree, which is made of the combined trunk and branches of an oak tree and a holly tree, swirling there together. And in the middle is sort of like the entrance to a glowing light, maybe a magic portal where you can go and find out more. And then at the top, we have an owl flying in with a magical gem. And the border, I used various of my Celtic dragon motifs that have appeared over the years in my paintings as a bit of a reoccurring theme. Now, the bottom section is something completely new. This is where my imagination ran wild with these myths of oak and holly and the warriors battling for control of the seasons. So I imagined somewhere deep in the forest there might be this huge stone table, and carved on the top of it is a motif of a yin-yang symbol in the centre. Now this has oak and holly in the two halves and two dips which would hold magical orbs. Then around the outside we have Celtic motifs and runes which represent the 8 different Sabbats in this Wheel of the Year. So we have the guardian of the Oak King's orb, and she is an elven mage and stands there with her wooden staff holding this magical orb in one hand, and behind her as backup is an oak dragon which has scales reminiscent of oak leaves, and the colours in the chest and wings are like kind of an acorn or the bright green of the oak leaves. And then on the right we have the Holly King's champion, and this is like a Nordic powerful warrior. He's got furs, he's got stag antlers, he's got armour with holly motifs, and the holly dragon behind him has scales that are reminiscent of the spiky holly leaves and the colours from that plant. So they are opposing sides, but they have to come together because at some point they need to put these crystal balls in the slots on this table, which unlocks the magic and allows it to turn and the seasons to change. Because if the seasons change, we cannot progress. We cannot have seeds go cold and germinate into spring without winter. We cannot have growth and life and harvest without summer. So it is important that these conflicting sides come and enable that together. Anyway, that was my imagination running a little wild, but I think as an overall it makes, quite an interesting little image that explores mythology, fantasy. It's obviously quite colour themed, to brown and green. We have just got printed some of these really nice large format, high quality art prints, and I have signed them, and we have these now for sale on the Etsy shop. If you are in the UK, our postal dragons will get on the case very quickly, and I'm sure we will be able to get this to you in time for Yule. But rest of the world, I don't think we can quite manage that, but it'll be a nice thing that will arrive just in time to celebrate the new year.